Grief and death are things that many of us shun, and we certainly don't prepare for them. And that is something our next guest, Yvonne Heath, a longtime nurse, a mother, a wife, a friend, and all-time compassionate and inspiring human being, she's on a mission to change all that. Welcome to What She Said.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here.
What compelled you to leave your nursing career, write a book, become a speaker, and start all this?
Well, I have to say it wasn't on the agenda, certainly at age 50 to change my career. But after 27 years, I witnessed our death-phobic society and how our reluctance to even plan for grief as it shows up throughout life caused excessive suffering in many people's lives, including my own. And we just didn't know how to do it differently, and we weren't talking about it. So I just took a leap of faith, and my poor husband heard me say, I'm going to leave my nursing career and write a book with no experience. And yes.
But somebody listening to this would think that you might be, obsessed with something a little more. But in actual fact, this is a very positive spin that you have on all this. Tell us about the I Just Showed Up campaign and how this all works together.
Well, it's to me, after interviewing so many people, and what I realize is when it comes to grief, we don't know what to do and we don't know what to say. So if we talk about it, plan and prepare before, we can share stories and we can use logic and even heart and humor, because it's already serious enough, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's already serious enough. But if we talk about it before the grief arrives, then we can empower ourselves and create resilience and learn from each other. And that's what the I Just Showed Up campaign is about. Because when we don't know what to do and we don't know what to say, the 3 words are just show up. When someone is grieving, and grief is throughout life, isn't it? Mental health issues, job loss, getting dumped, and you don't think you're going to get over it. It's throughout life, and it can be messy. And we just need to show up for people.
What are your takeaways? You say you have 7 takeaways, very briefly.
Very briefly. Well, to make a long story short, the 7 takeaways are the best time to talk about plan and prepare for grief is indeed before we are facing it. And number 2 is that we do need our village. A lot of people, grief counselors and bereavement counselors, they're all wonderful. But when it comes to, chronic illness or things we're facing throughout life, we need our village, our family and our friends, because it takes a village to live well, to grieve well, and to die well. And of course, the 3rd one is when someone is having a hard time, just show up. The big one, number 4, is if you want to show up for other people, just show up for yourself first, and also structure your life in such a way that you are resilient. Find your post that you can hang on to no matter what in times of grief. And the 7th one is, what will your legacy be?
What is your new purpose then now?
My new purpose is to go out and have conversations with people. And with this I Just Showed Up campaign, we have these bracelets, which are actual a visual reminder. And it says, I just showed up right on it. And it's a conversation starter. And what it is to remind people to show up for themselves and just show up for others. And together we can create a culture of change where we can face grief, get through it, help each other heal, and find joy again.
Show us your book here, which is called
Love Your Life to Death.
And the message in that is,
if we talk about plan and prepare long before we are facing grief, we can learn from each other and we can find joy again. That sort of sums it up.
What has the reaction been?
Well, I have to say, I was going to say I don't mean to brag, but I kind of do, because we have over 2,600 books in print, and I've had more people than I can count say this has changed their lives, and they've done end-of-life planning and opened up conversations, and that's what gets me up sometimes at 4:30 in the morning.
What is your long-term plan? Because you've started this, but it probably doesn't have any boundaries.
It has no boundaries. Our goal is to bring Love Your Life to Death, and I Just Showed Up across Canada and then globally.
Is this something that hospitals could learn from?
Oh, my goodness. I would love to get in hospitals. And, the thing is that with healthcare professionals, many of us don't know how to take care of ourselves well, and we don't know how to show up for each other. And I believe that this is a really important message. I would love to get in schools for healthcare professionals and teachers. long before they become healthcare professionals. But yes, I'd love to speak to every hospital.
Yeah, because this is the sandwich generation. So this is definitely a conversation that many people need to be having as a family.
Absolutely, 100%. We can't avoid grief, but we can avoid excessive suffering.
Where can people buy this book?
They can go right to our website, www.loveyourlifetodeath.com.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing this inspiring message with all of us.
Thank you so much for having me, Christine. Take care.
This is what she said. Stay with us.